Hey folks, it's Chris Gordon back with you, and today I'm going to be talking about using other chords from the key of C over Jimmy Bruno's five fingerings and pitch collections. Hopefully, I'll do my best to explain this, where you'll start to begin to see that this approach works modally. And as I said in the previous two videos, being a rock player, we love our modes, and this does apply to modes. And what I'm going to talk about today is the fifth mode of the major scale, which is Mixolydian. Key of C, that's going to be G Mixolydian. So what is a Mixolydian scale? A Mixolydian mode, whatever that is, it's really the major scale with a flat 7. So we've been talking about everything in the key of C the last couple of videos. If I was to take the C scale and right here, I'll just take it right here, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. And if I was to make that a Mixolydian, all I need to do, 1, 2, 3, 4, C, D, E, F, G, A, flat to 7 to B flat, and back to C. That made, so I took the major scale by flatting the 7th of that major scale. It's now Mixolydian. Why that works here in fingering 5 of C major, if we look at the key of C, C, D, E, F, G. The fifth mode or the fifth interval of C is G. Now, if I use only the notes from C and I spell it from G, G, A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Well, let's count that and make G 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, flat 7, 1. So, in the key of C, the Mixolydian mode that lives within the key of C is G Mixolydian. So now that's my root. That's my gravity, not C anymore. G is my gravity. And I have a wonderful chord for this. Some people call this the G11. I always look at it as an F major triad with G in the bass. I'm taking the fourth chord of the key of C, which was F, which we talked about before. But now we're going to put G in the bass, and then resolve it up to G. How about that? Any Hall & Oates fan knows this sound. Great sound. We can put a C in there, why not? So, with this, and using fingering 5, with G as my gravity, now you can hear the Mixolydian sound. It's important to get the sound. That's my gravity. Let's see. Using my passing tones as we talked about before, the notes outside. Now the reason I'm doing that is because now G is my root, B is my third, D is my fifth, F is my flat 7. So I'm going to walk into each of those notes. I've shifted the gravity to G Mixolydian. I'm going to do the same thing when I move up into the next fingering, which in this case, now fingering 6. Watch this. This is where the fun kicks in for me, because now I've got this new chord. I'm using a G7 here, but I could also do this. How about that? Here's my F triad, G in the bass. It's a cool chord. Get a groove going with that. And then I move up to the next fingering. All the fingerings we already talked about. This is the fingerings in C parentally. Now I've got this, G7. Okay, so let's take a look. How about this? Oh, I like this one. So I have an F triad up here with the G right here. Very nice. Okay. Moving on into what we see as fingering 2. How about this? Here's my G. Put the F there. Just very simple. Here's my G. There, I targeted that. I targeted that B note being the third of G. Very important to target, especially if I'm using chromatics. Pretty cool. One more, fingering 3. Okay, check this one out. Taking a little liberty here, like we did this earlier, down here. I'm going to play it here, but instead of going up that high, I'm going to play it here. The point is you're hearing the sound. To bring me all the way back down. I haven't talked about connecting them yet. We'll talk about that another time. I wanted to share with you today how you can derive different modes from these same fingerings. So you don't have to learn a bunch of different fingerings for the 7 modes that live within the major scale. And right now I'm only talking about the modes that live within the major scale. But I wanted to spend some time with Mixolydian. And that's really my whole thing, is I spend time with the modes. I don't think of them esoterically. I think of them as, hey, you know what? I'm hanging out with you today because I want to get to know you. I want to get to know your vibe and understand your whole presence. So that's the great thing about doing this. So here, using the 5 fingerings that we've done, the Jimmy Bruno 5 fingerings in C, but today it's all about G Mixolydian, using those same fingerings and getting used to being able to shift the gravity of those fingerings to a particular root of a particular mode. So hopefully it made some sense. All right, so if you got these 5 fingerings together and you've been working on them, then you can try them over this backing track. But remember, the gravity is G, so it's going to be G Mixolydian. I'll show you what I mean by just playing the actual fingering. See how it resolves. It's G now. Next fingering. Next fingering. Into the next fingering. And then the final one. My way back down. I haven't talked about this yet, but we'll talk about connecting them. But that's what I'm doing here. I'm connecting all 5 of these fingerings. Let's try the triads from last week. Check this out. Now, another point to be to think about is as you get familiar with the notes. This is really imperative. Is really get familiar with the notes that is working against this, right? So when we were playing against the C major 7, the E note was our 3rd. But now we're playing against this G tonality. The B is our 3rd. This is really important. Check it out. That E has a whole different relationship now. That's our 13. Still a good tone. But check this out. So I'm using the familiarity of those fingerings, but I'm changing my resolution. My 3rd, the B. Where's this? Adding some other stuff in there I'll talk about next time, because I want to do some hang time here with the Mixolydian. That's an Easter egg for the next video. Our first exploration into the modes using Jimmy Bruno's 5 fingerings. This week it's all about the Mixolydian. subscribe to his channel. And subscribe to mine, please. That'd be nice. All right, everyone. Talk to you soon. Cheers.